Welcome to Brand You.
The ultimate personal branding podcast.
I'm Caz Grant.
And I'm Toby Lee.
Together, we're here to help demystify personal branding
and to make it accessible and effective for everyone.
Follow along as we guide you through creating your own personal branding journeys.
So, let's get started.
Let's brand you. Welcome back to the Brand You podcast. So last week we were talking about how to monetize your personal brand. Now this week we're diving into building your tribe and growing an army of loyal followers.
Now that sounds a bit daunting, I think.
An army.
An army of followers. I've not quite thought of it like that. You know, we have a lot of terms for the same thing, don't we? So like audience, our target audience, our community, all these kind of things. And what I like about phrasing it as something as strong as army of followers, it's kind of thinking you're putting more meaning to that group. It's not just like, I mean, we can easily get in the habit, can't we, of putting content out and then just looking at the numbers, how many have engaged, whereas actually our audience is so much more important than that. You know, they are a group of individual people that for whatever reason are buying into engaging with our content or getting in touch and making an inquiry. And the more we can focus on treating them that way, the more specific our content's going to become, our messaging is going to be stronger. Even just how we communicate our services, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the word like army, I guess there's two parts, the army and the loyal part of the following, isn't there? So the army, I guess we're trying to define it as like just a large audience, because everyone wants to grow their following and make it bigger, because obviously the more eyes that are on us, the more chance we then have to nurture them and then to potentially some of them to buy what we have or to buy into what we're offering the world through our personal brand. So army, I guess, is the size of it. And then the loyalty part of that, though, is it's great having a massive following, but there's no point in having a massive following if they're not an engaged, loyal following. So the two parts of it, isn't there? So yes, you want to grow and get bigger and over time generate that army of people that are behind you and you're supporting each other and getting ahead in the world in whatever way you can together. But then that loyal part, which is like you want the ones that are your tribe, the ones that you could align with, the ones that you get on with, the ones that you'd have fun doing life and business with as well. I think that's a really important thing to note, isn't it? You want people that you'd get on with in life. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, I'm trying not to segue too much here. You know, when you go into cafes and things and they sometimes have like the Instagram counter on, you know, near the till or something. And I sometimes think, like, that's obviously a great way to let people know you're on Instagram, check us out, whatever. I've thought about getting one in here sometimes, but I think I would be so number focused of like waiting for that to change and clock, or like if it did while I happened to be sat there, I'd be like, oh my God, got another follower, you know, and you don't even think about it when it pops into your notifications or anything. But it's always a good gauge, isn't it, to know how your sort of content is landing and your brand messaging, looking at who is coming through on those follows. Because I get quite a lot of editors and retouchers from the other side of the globe, you know, following me. And then sure enough, 2 weeks later, there'll be a message in my inbox saying, can I do some editing for you? Or, you know, is there a bit of a sell comes in? And there'll be people I don't know at all, and they might be based elsewhere in the country. And I'm always intrigued of going, okay, so what's made them, first of all, how have they come across me? And then what's made them want to follow me? Because, you know, a lot of my clients are Lincolnshire based. Because I'm studio based, I'm in a fixed location, they come to me. So trying to build that audience that is focused there, it's it's always just interesting analysing who is in your community, isn't it? And who's seeing your content.
And you're almost going to have a bit of, you know, a percentage of people that are maybe further afield or are not going to be in your tribe or are not engaged, because again, you can't just put a firewall up on your personal brand and say, oh, I want these people and not these people, and you're not allowed to follow me. So there's always going to be some that kind of get through, but actually it's looking at, again, what you're creating, what you're putting out there, and how that's attracting most of the right people against most of the wrong people. So not getting everybody perfectly right, but enough of it so that the right ones are coming through to you. And again, along the way, you'll find out who are the ones that you maybe would engage with more, would be more in your tribe, would fit in, you would like working with, just by connecting with them and starting to talk to them and having those conversations. I think it's I hear it quite a lot at the moment where people are like, well, I know I need to be reaching out to people and connecting with people online and building those relationships, but it just feels weird that I'm doing it because like I'm trying to get more responses from them, or I'm trying to get them into a conversation. Or we almost think we're trapping people at the moment into our following, trapping people into conversations with us. But actually, again, if we do it in a way that's we're not going into that sale straight away. We are just having genuine conversations with people like we would do in real life anyway. And again, like our following is going to grow over time, and we're going to get the right people, and we're going to know through the conversations that we're having who we want to speak to more and who we maybe don't. And it's okay for the ones that don't.
Absolutely. You
can't speak to everybody. Can you imagine growing an audience of like 20,000 people and then you're having to speak to all 20,000 people? You're not going to be able to do it with everyone, but finding those ones that you do like. And I think that's the key, isn't it? I think joy, when I spoke about joy before, and finding the ones that you have fun with and that you align with, like there's something about getting together with people, whether it's online, whether it's in person, who you would just really like and have the best time with. Find those people in, again, whatever way that is. So a lot of people at the moment have been sharing that they love a Marvel.
Right, okay.
And the superhero type of thing. So I've got that in my head at the moment, but maybe until now they're hiding it. But actually, there's a lot of other secret Marvel people out there as well that are hiding it. And maybe they're your people. And maybe instead of creating a networking event that you can all go to, that, you know, another networking event in the local area, maybe you put on a Marvel film night.
That'd be cool. Do something
and it's
really
not,
specific.
Do something that you'd all enjoy. And how much fun would you all have together? And how much business would be done further down the line of that? Because again, you've built those relationships. But you connect and you're having fun. Like I think for us, it's probably like the gym people. The gym people. the gym people.
Those gym people.
They are now called the gym people. But we do, don't we? We hang around with a lot of other gym people because we enjoy that environment. We enjoy going to those sort of things and building that. What did I go to the other day? The Les Mills Live experience in Leeds.
Cool, that is. That was really cool.
Like I love doing fitness and working out anyway. I love connecting online with other fitness and working out professional fitness and workout people. I love then going to the gym and speaking to these people in person. Why wouldn't we go and do something like that together? Because it's fun and I love it.
It's kind of shared experience, isn't it? And you if you've got those shared habits and things that you enjoy as well, it just makes for a good topic of conversation, doesn't it? And bonding. And I'm thinking back to like my ideal clients that I've had in the last 12 months. And they'd be the ones where like, I've never really had to sell. I've never really had to kind of, pitch or really explain my services. Will have at some point bonded in some way that they've then gone, I want to come and book in with you.
Exactly.
And I don't feel I've had to do anything, but it's because, the branding's strong, my in-person communication is friendly, approachable, I'm here if you need me. And, and of course, not every client journey is like that. There's some people who don't really know what they want. They ask lots of questions. They don't really know what their budget is. They don't value necessarily what they're looking for. And those ones can be a real slow burner and not always amount to anything. And then, but because they're not your ideal client and they're not that, they may be the ones that have just been like a fly to a light, they've been drawn into your kind of messaging, but it wasn't quite right for them or the right timing or whatever. It's easier then to like kind of let them ones go, isn't it?
And have you found that some of the ones that maybe haven't come from those relationships that you've built, have you found the sessions almost to be a bit harder with them? For you, like to try and draw stuff out of them, to try and have that rapport in the sessions, because it's all about rapport and making people feel at ease. If you know someone, they're almost instantly at ease with you anyway. And again, it's like going to meet Toby from the gym. Oh, it's a photo shoot, it's a bit more awkward, but it's still Toby from the gym. It's cool. So is that?
It's almost like having if you let's use the gym analogy, going to the gym having never exercised before and you see all that machinery and go, well, I thought I was just going to turn up and get fit. Like I didn't realize now I have to work out whether I'm doing weight training or going on a cross trainer or all those things, even though you've got a personal trainer that's going to take you through that. And I think with the headshot stuff, it's not a case of just turning up and then I make it all happen for you, because we have to have planned what you're going to wear, what is it you want to say. If you don't know what you want to say in these photos, like how do we rate if they're successful or not, whether they're going to work for you, whether they're a good photo. So yeah, I think definitely that journey and that process is so important. So we sort of stem that right back to the initial messaging and the brand identity and all that, and make sure that's targeting the right person for us, isn't it?
Yeah. And then they come in and they have a good experience, and you have a good experience, and then magic just sort of happens, doesn't it? Whereas sometimes the clients that have come that maybe aren't as aligned and have come through a bit of more of a sales funnel, if you like, it is harder work. It is a little bit like not more of a slog. I don't know how to word it. It's just different, isn't it? It's a different energy.
Yeah. And I'm always the first to kind of self-analyze and go, okay, so we're in this position. How has it got here? What could I have done? So sometimes it is actually, maybe just wasn't the best match, but actually it's coming back to, okay, well, maybe I didn't provide them with all the information that they needed at that time. I thought this process was the guide you get sent of what to prepare and that kind of part of the client journey. It might work for 80% of my clients, but there's a reason that it's not working for 20%. And every now and then we sort of have to go through that. So it's just good to kind of analyze, isn't it? And kind of go, what can we be tweaking?
Yeah. Always good to look at the processes.
Yeah, your processes, and even if it's a time to come back to your brand messaging and your kind of overall thing and go, well, okay, has something changed and evolved over time because we're maybe attracting people that aren't
quite the right fit.
Yeah.
Because there is an ideal client and there's a not ideal client as well. We talk a lot about the ideal client, but there's a lot of people that as individuals would be harder to work with.
Yeah.
And again, if through your personal brand, if we're just following absolutely everybody, letting everybody into our vortex and communicating and building relationships with absolutely everybody, no matter what, then you are going to potentially get some of the wrong people chatting to you. And again, does that make your life further down the line when it comes to that sale and working with them? Does it make it a little bit harder?
Yeah.
Maybe it does. Whereas actually, if we let go of almost that hold on building the biggest following ever, but we just concentrate on a few of the right people each week, a few of the right people coming in. So it is growing, you're building it, you're getting people there. Again, you're not going to get perfect right person every single time, but you're building it over time. And then great, you've got engaged people, you've got people that you'd love to work with, you've got people that have seen your messaging and know almost what to expect before they come to you as well. So you've taken them on that journey. Everything becomes a little bit easier and better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I do with LinkedIn, I don't accept absolutely everybody on my LinkedIn. I could probably grow a lot quicker than I am growing at the moment if I just said yes to everybody. But like you say, there's parts of the world that they'll pop up and they do what I am already in the world of doing anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm never going to go to your country. I'm never going to do we're never going to have a conversation. Like I just don't need you in my vortex, and you don't need me in your vortex either, because I'm never going to buy from you or do anything, or even probably chat to you.
Yeah.
So I just don't need you. Yes, that one extra like could lead to 10 extra likes of the wrong people, but I don't want the wrong people. I want the right people. So I do ignore them on LinkedIn quite a lot.
So I guess in a nutshell, smaller groups or audience and followers is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
If they're more committed, loyal, and they're the right people for you.
Yeah.
You're right.
Grow it. Always look at growing it, because you do need new people in your vortex. You do need more people coming into your funnel.
But it's not a race.
But it's not a race,
10,000
and it's not
followers or.
Yeah. We can see the bigger numbers are so juicy sometimes, and we want to be at these bigger numbers.
Yeah.
And yes, bigger numbers will help with some things. If you're going for certain media coverage, or you want your business in something else, or you want I don't know, some brand deals or something like that, then yes, a larger following, almost no matter who you have, is going to look better to those things. So again, it's what you want to achieve with your personal brand. But if it is sales of whatever you're offering, clients, customers, then actually the right ones are going to be more beneficial to you than just trying to get large amounts of followers in one. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think we're all going for those, like, I just want lots of followers, big numbers. I want that army. I want that army. But there's no point in having an army. I mean, even the army isn't full of the incorrect people in the army, is it? Let's be clear on this. An army is big, it's massive, it's powerful. It's only big, massive, and powerful because it's got the right people who want to achieve the right stuff moving forward with it. If the army was full of people that didn't even want to be in the army, you'd have a problem. You'd have a problem achieving the mission. So it's looking at it kind of like that, isn't it?
Like that. So that's great. So how do we build an audience that are loyal? Like, what do we need to know and what do we need to make sure we do?
I think we've got two sides to this that we can dive into with everyone. So first of all will be the creating content side of things. And then the second side of that will be you connecting and you engaging with other people. So let's go into the content side of things. We'll break it down. Let's go into the content side of things first. And I think you need both of these working together, because if you just do one or the other, you're not going to get as much growth and as much connection and as many loyal people, really. So the content side of things, first of all, you need to be creating great content. Great content being content that speaks to your ideal audience. So you can create any content. And content may be great, as in you could create a funny video on nothing, dancing in your kitchen with your dog, and that might go viral. But is that aligned to what you want to get across to your world, who you want to attract, and your ideal audience? Would they resonate with that? Or again, yes, it's funny, yes, it's gone viral, yes, you've got lots of followers for that. Has that just attracted a load of people that you wouldn't, again, ever want to work with, could work with, or would never buy into what you have or create that community vibe for it? So looking at your content, definitely thinking, what can I create that will resonate with my ideal audience? Again, we can't tell people exactly what to create because the listeners will be in so many different backgrounds and like industries. And again, it's down to your individual personal brand, isn't it? I'd say if you're struggling with the content side of things at the moment, and you can't afford to go and get expert help with your content side of things, then definitely look into AI at the moment. We've just been on an AI course, haven't we? And part of that AI course was talking about content creation. There are so many tools out there and coming out that are going to help with content creation. And I think what's great about that is it's not going to create the content for them, but it's going to give you the ideas based off of the strategy that you need for your personal brand, like, so specifically for you, specifically for your target audience, when you input that information into ChatGPT or AI. And I think if listeners are like, oh gosh, but what do I start with? Where do I go? I think a great tool that we learned about on that course was Futurepedia. Because you can go to Futurepedia and it's almost like the Google of the AI world, and go content creating AIs and Google that in there, and it will come up with, I don't know, a whole ream of different AIs that are available that you can create content on. It might come up with ChatGPT, which most people will probably have heard of. It might come out with Claude. So those were the two variations, weren't they? ChatGPT is great as long as you prompt it really well. Claude was a more human voice, and more human content would come out of it, potentially. So listeners, go and look at that if you literally have no idea where to even begin with content. Because again, we're talking about, just create some great content that resonates with your ideal audience. That's a whole new podcast episode because how do you do that? But we'll discuss that again in another episode. Go back to ones that we've done in the past as well, because we do talk about content a little bit in past ones. So getting your content right. What content will do is it will spread it out to the world online, to other people who are into that kind of whatever the content is all about. It will show that to people, and then you'll get followers who, again, if it aligns, if it's the right messaging, will come through and follow you just based off of that reel you created, that post you created, or something like that. So that's one way to grow your following. If you're not sharing any content, why would anyone go and follow you? Like, you're not giving anything out to them. There's nothing for them to watch. There's nothing for them to follow. There's nothing for them to view. So creating regular great content would be a good idea as a starter. Would you add anything onto the content side?
I just add authenticity, you know, in terms of if you are struggling for ideas of what the content is. Because I think we can overcomplicate things as well for ourselves, and sometimes think, oh, I don't know, you know, or we try too much variation of content. Whereas if you just try and keep it simple and just, you know, even just posting a bit of day to day about your business or your work that you're up to, or something personal, almost trying to not overthink it with your personal brand, isn't it? And just get used to being consistent. You know, we've talked about that a lot in the past. But with that consistency needs to be consistency of being real and being authentic, because again, that's what's going to attract the right person, you know.
And I think that's the biggest barrier to people. They listen to a podcast like this, say to create great content, and it needs to be like this, and then their head goes into, I can't create great content, and how am I going to do that? And the overthinking starts, and they don't do anything. I said, yes, create great content, but maybe your first lot of content won't be great. Maybe it'll absolutely suck. But you know what? Do it, and you get better over time again, don't you? So start creating, use the tools available if you can, get better over time, and hone your skills over time and tweak things. Again, you'll only know what will get your followers and the right people by doing it. Because even if you have the best strategies, and even with strategies and everything, we test people's content out as we go. Because some things might do better than others based off of the people that they're attracting with it. What is, what isn't, you don't know. So taking the pressure off with that. And then, so we've got the content side of it, and then the other side of it will go on to like I say engaging and connecting, because you want to do a bit both. But again, so you're creating great content, you're putting that out there, people are coming into your vortex. Are they commenting on any of your posts? Well, if they are, you better be replying to them. So engagement, simply like speaking to your audience and returning the comments when they comment on anything that you're putting out there. So anything you're putting out there definitely needs a respond to. And I don't mean just like Sheila put, oh, I loved your reel, blah, 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 and you just heart it. No, Sheila needs a proper follow-up. Brilliant. No, Sheila needs a proper response. Thanks so much, Sheila, for leaving that comment. Really appreciate your thoughts on
Give
this.
a question back.
Give a question back. Yes. Great way for engagement, because if you ask a question back, they need to respond.
It feels rude leaving people hanging.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I've seen it and I can't reply straight away, and I think, oh, I need to get back to them.
Yeah. It doesn't matter though if there's a delay on that, does it? Again, we're all busy people, but I know that if I respond to something on yours, you will respond back to me. And okay, if you then haven't left a question mark at the end of that, I could like that comment of yours or something, you know, once we've had a bit or two from. But definitely having those conversations on the posts that you're sharing. But then equally to that, you've got this audience that are starting to follow you. Are any of those your ideal audience? Can you follow those back? And then can you have a little look at their content? Like, what have they shared? Can you impart anything onto theirs as well? Can you comment on theirs? Can you start conversations up? Can you compliment them? A genuine compliment as well.
It's really nice, isn't it? Or even a shout out sometimes, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You reshare something that they've shared that was really valuable to you, that you think, you know, if you're aligned with them, they're aligned with you, and they're your ideal audience, you sharing something that they've put on, them sharing something, that's going to help all of your ideal audience as well see everybody's content more. So let's spread a bit of reciprocity online and get that circulation going, like the comments, the content. Can you message them privately, and again spark up a bit more of a deeper conversation with them? Not force, there's sometimes I'll be on social media thinking this is my connecting and engaging time, and I'll be looking for things to connect and engage with. I'll be going on to my ideal audience things, and there's nothing that I resonate with. There's nothing that I can leave a genuine comment on, or my brain's just not in it. So I won't just go in and be like, AI, what can I comment on this? And leave a stupid comment that I would never even put in a million years that sounds robotic. Don't do that. It's only if you can. But sometimes there will be so much that I can share on something and spark up, because again, I really relate to that person. So engaging. Anything else on the engaging part that you'd put into that?
I'd say some people are quite good at playing the game in terms of knowing what each algorithm likes.
Yeah.
And it's trying to keep a level of authenticity. I've said that a few times now this episode, but it is so important that even if LinkedIn likes you replying to comments, likes you asking questions, likes you tagging people, some people are very good at making sure they pack everything into every post and action those, and it does work and pay dividends for growing their reach and their follow. And but just making sure that you're always doing it with some realness about you. You're not just doing it to play the game, but actually you're still genuinely connecting with people, and your messages are real.
Yeah. Because again, you this is loyal.
Yeah.
This is why we use the word loyal following. Again, you're not building any following. You're not building a generic following. You're not just growing for the sake of growing. You want real people that will connect with you and have that relationship with you longer term. So again, it needs to be real. I see a lot of AI comments.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't tend to reply back to some of those. Some of them that really like AI,
they
like
really stand out.
Really stand out with that. You haven't even tried to copy and paste it and change it a bit.
Yeah.
Like there's literally so AI.
And it's more damaging than it is building anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it does stand out like a bit of a sore thumb, particularly if you're a stranger on that post or thread. You're not connected before that point.
Yeah.
It's not a great first impression, is it?
I'd rather not do it.
Yeah.
Than do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather leave it and just like a post or comment on a post and then move on from it. I haven't physically got anything to say on it. Then go on and use AI in that kind of way. There's just it's really inauthentic. So loyal followers need that loyalty and that proper from you connection. So then the engagement, but also connecting them. Because it's great, again, having the chats with people and stuff, but actually you might be able to find some new cool people that would be your ideal audience. So you're creating content, people are coming to you, you're engaging, responding, the algorithm's showing more people your stuff because you are engaging and everything's working. But also, why not spend a bit of time each day as well looking for people who are also your ideal audience?
Yeah.
And you can do that on most platforms by different platforms will do different. LinkedIn's great, isn't it? Because it brings up like lists of people that you might want to connect with. Go on that for 5 minutes a day. Have a little look at other people that you can connect with. Instagram is great because it's got hashtags and things, or location. Like you could search Lincoln, and then actually perfect, because anybody that's posted in the Lincoln area that would again be your target audience and maybe someone that you could connect with will have tagged it in there. You'll be able to see them and again engage with them. So it's looking for the people that you want to connect with as well, and not just again going on to Instagram or LinkedIn and just being like add. I'm like, oh my gosh. I get to a certain degree. So your ideal audience might be very specific and very niche, and you're like, finding those ones to add might be difficult, but they might be niche, but within their business or within their world, who would they know? For example, you might need to connect with CEOs in the engineering world.
Yeah.
Great. So you'll find some of those unicorns as you go along, but then actually, who do the CEOs work with and who do they have in their teams in the engineering world? You could connect with them, and then they might see your stuff through something. So yes, be specific, but not to that much extent.
And it does kind of help having those mutual connections then when you do connect with the right person. If they see, actually they know so-and-so.
More likely.
Already made those connections,
more likely to let you in, more likely to follow you, more likely to answer a message if you're sending a message.
Yeah.
Because how many messages do we get on a platform, LinkedIn? You're like, here comes the sales bitch.
Yeah.
And actually, again, we're just having a conversation. We're using social media to be social. We're just starting a conversation up.
Yeah.
So we want the person to respond back to us and just be friendly with it and be sociable. But yeah.
When I started out photographing actors in London, and that was when I started as Headshot Toby. So that would be around probably 10 or 11 years ago when I set up that Instagram account that is now my main business one. The other day I went back through the people I follow, and put it in order of oldest to newest, and just started sorting that out, because I think I was following like nearly 2,000 accounts or something. Most of them inactive, most of them don't even pop up because I don't interact with them, so it's only recent people that show for me anyways. I thought let's have to clear out of that. But what was interesting was that was definitely my tactic. I was following so many actors, anyone that was graduating from drama school, anyone that actors that didn't even look like they were working, just literally anyone I could kind of come across. Because I knew established actors would already have things in place, relationships. I'm an up and coming photographer, so I was just trying to find people that would be willing to take a risk on or give a cheaper photographer a go at the time. But when I look back now, it's just such the wrong way to go about it. Like when I look back now with hindsight of, I wasn't building anything really, because one, they weren't following me back properly. Two, if they were, I wasn't interacting with them any more than just trying to sell to them. And it was probably clear that if a photographer follows you out of the blue as an actor, the chances are they're probably going to try and sell a headshot package to you or something. It's always too specific to just come out of nowhere with no communication or engagement beforehand, isn't it?
Whereas if you'd seen something about the gym with them or something, and then you could again go in with that, and again, if you're personally branding and sharing a bit more of life as well alongside of it, you're not just a headshot photographer coming in for the sale. Oh, you're Toby that loves the gym. I like his content on the gym as well, and photography. It's all blended. But so, we connect on that. So maybe I'll let him in more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I had no sort of strategy in that sense. It was just how can I connect with people as fast as possible. Thinking if they follow me back, that's another follower. Which is wasn't going to get me anywhere.
I feel like we've all done that.
Yeah.
But this is how you do personal branding in a way, isn't it? You do these things, you learn as you go, and then you learn what to do and what not.
Back then.
I know, right? I know. Hopefully we're imparting some knowledge on the viewers from this, so that you don't make the same mistakes as we did.
Cut a few corners. So I guess like my tactic there of like just adding people was never going to work, because I wasn't really offering anything to them as an audience. Like I wasn't building anything, and I think really we have to think about like building a community or a tribe or army or whatever phrase you want to put on it. If you want to internally collectively call your audience your minions or whatever it is, it's going to change the way you think about them, but it's also going to change what you're offering, because if we're not offering something, it's that value again, isn't it?
And with turning it into a community, it's that offering as well of like, just it doesn't even have to be a service or a thing or monetary or anything. It can be being part of something,
like
connecting with others, belonging. And I think a lot of bigger brands you can see doing this at the moment, can't you? They're setting up run clubs, or they're setting up like networking events and things like that around what they're doing, and again in line with their mission and everything to attract people to it, moving the online kind of offline a little bit. So yes, you've got all of these followers, they're engaging with your content, and now what can you put on locally that you can maybe invite people to? So for example, just started putting on some hikes. I love hikes, I love getting out and about. Why not actually, there's a lot of people that I've connected with online that also like that kind of thing as well. Why don't we put on some things like that together? A hike is great, and stuff like that's great as well, because not only are we going to go on a hike, I'm going to connect with others, I'm going to move that online relationship offline as well, so there'll be that deeper trust forming. You really get to know people because you're walking and talking, and there's that element of fun with it as well. But also, we're going out and about somewhere that is really photogenic as well. So also suddenly people have got lots of photos for their personal branding as well, that their experience that they've had. And they're going to share that with their audience and stuff. So again, that's going to build my following a bit because, you know, everybody's going to be sharing this afterwards as well. So what can people create? Like you're creating stuff as well with the magazine. You've done workshops before. You've done networking events and things. So again,
it's the aim of bringing people together, isn't it?
Yeah.
And bringing them together for the same reasons. So then because they're there for the same reasons, they've already got that collective experience and connection, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love what you say about sharing that kind of content then because you also create that FOMO. The people that are connected with everyone that was on that hike or whatever, they go, oh, I would have loved to have gone on that. I'm going to keep an eye out for that next time, you know, and then they're going to be actively more engaging with your content, even if they're not physically engaging. They're going to keep an eye out, aren't they?
Yeah. And you never know where the ripples of connecting with others like this are going to take you. So
I've had some clients come from some bizarre avenues. When you start breaking it down, you kind of think, well, if I hadn't have spoken to that person and then posted about this, you know.
Yeah, that would never have happened. So it's just, again, making as many people aware of you and what you do as possible. And stuff will come from that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anyone will want to come on the next hike after the first one. It was raining like anything. I might need to choose another community builder that's drier.
So at least the weather's a bit better now.
Yeah, the weather's better now. Hopefully the next hike on the 13th of April will be a lot better.
There you go.
If anyone wants to
Fair weather hikes.
Fair weather hikes. Yeah. There was a few Italians on the first hike and they were like, I'm not coming back unless it's sunshine.
What is this?
What is this? Yeah. But we still had a great time. And again, like the connection that we formed and the, you know, people are still talking and connecting with each other as well. And they might not have met if it wasn't for, so again, with your personal brand, who else are you going to bring together to form different coalitions, collaborations and stuff as well?
Yeah.
You never know what anybody else on that community building incentive will get from it as well.
Yeah.
So it's quite cool, isn't it? To be the person that brings the people together and then you see different things happening amongst each other. It's great, yeah.
So this week's actionable step, we invite you to engage with people on your platforms that you're on for at least 30 minutes a day. Now bear with us, consistency is key. So give this a go for a good week or two and really challenge yourself to be as involved as you can be, engaging with people you're currently already in your audience and connecting with others, and see what effect that has as you go along. See who starts engaging back, how that affects the way your posts are being seen, and just see really what comes up there.
And you can spread that out, guys, as well. So you can do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, something like that. So it doesn't have to be in one chunk either, whatever works for you. So keep following along the brand new podcast. We are on Spotify and we're also on Apple Podcasts and also YouTube now. So follow along so you get notified when the latest episodes drop weekly. So the next episode we'll be sharing with you all is turning your followers into customers. So we've got the loyal followers now. Let's do some subtle selling to them so that we turn it into business growth for you.
Here's to branding you.